This conference will now be recorded.
You got covered again.
I was just saying, as scientific as my report I just gave you is.
Yeah, we've been dealing with a lot of data and science this last year, so I get the nebulous ideas of it all.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Commissioners meeting for Lake Stevens Sewer District. It is 9:02. We're just a little behind, but that's nothing unusual. It is a regular board meeting for Lake Stevens Sewer District. It is May 13th, 2021, which is a Thursday. We're going to go ahead and get ready to call the meeting to order. Couple things just before we go. I just want to read, because obviously we are doing this by the GoToMeeting platform, so it's not our normal way of doing business. But with that being said, let me just go ahead and read the little initial comments that are appropriate. So citizens, staff, commissioners, since this is a remote meeting, there are some initial comments that would be appropriate for this meeting. As required by the governor's series of proclamations beginning in March 24, 2020, the Lake Stevens Sewer District is holding its commissioner meetings remotely using the GoToMeeting platform. While this is not our normal way of doing business, we're glad we're able to continue the business continuity by having this meeting via the GoToMeeting platform. So for our members of the public who are participating, we're very grateful and thank you for your support and patience as we work through this way of doing business. With that being said, members of the public, you've been invited to join us via this virtual meeting forum. The public comment section of our agenda will be handled in the following way. First, any comments, questions, concerns that were received by our sewer district's customer service representatives, whether they were emailed or sent via a letter, snail mail, I guess, or any other way otherwise received sufficiently in advance of this meeting, they will be read during the public forum. Second, during the meeting, anyone wishing to comment during the public forum may use the chat box feature. You'll be provided with the opportunity to comment. Board members, we're going to take attendance real quick, so when I call your name, please indicate whether you can hear me clearly. And if you can, we're going to just all of us try to speak one at a time so we don't over talk each other and kind of make a mess of the recording. We do this, even though we do take minutes, we want to make sure that it's very clear. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. I'll call on Commissioner Stevenson. Can you hear me this fine morning?
Loud and clear.
Perfect, thank you. Commissioner Koshi.
Crystal clear.
Perfect, and for those that might be joining us and not knowing who, well, I'm Commissioner Lawrence and I'm this year's president of the board. So we are the representatives for the folks in the Lake Stevens Sewer District. So with that being said, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So moving on down the agenda this morning, item number 3 is the agenda approval. I know that we've been emailed the previous agenda as a board to review and add anything. So if there's nothing else that needs to be added by staff or anybody else or subtracted by staff or the commissioners, I would entertain a motion that we approve the agenda as submitted.
I'll make a motion we approve the agenda as submitted.
I second.
So the agenda has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Anybody have any comments? Not seeing or hearing anybody wave me down in the pictures I do see on the video. Call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried unanimously. Okay, moving on down. The next item, item 4 in the consent agenda. Questions, comments by any of the board members?
Nope.
Entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion that we approve consent items A through I.
I second.
So it has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda items that have been previously reviewed by the board members, A through I. I'll go ahead and call for the vote if there's no further discussion on it, which there does not seem to be from the two other members. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
It has been approved. So let's move on down to public forum. So this is an opportunity at this time that anybody from the public can speak. Let me check with our staff if we received any further emails, snail mail letters, or comments that may have come in other forms.
The only one received in advance of the meeting was that from Scott Benison, and it was included in your packet.
Perfect, thank you. We can read that into the minutes, so I can do that. I do notice on the agenda it also has that, I think Mr. Benison, I don't know if he is present this morning, but he did have some public testimony, and I'm not sure if he wanted to read his letter into the record, or if he wants one of us to read that. So do we know if Mr. Benison is on the line?
I do not see his name as a caller right now.
Okay, well, with that being said, I could go ahead and read that in if the board members would so entertain me to do that real quick. So we did receive a public comment. It was addressed to our general manager, but it also addressed to the Board of Commissioners. So I'll go ahead and read that real quick if everybody will give me the moment. So letter says, to Mariah Lowe, Interim General Manager, Lake Stevens Sewer District. Hello, my name is Scott Benison. I live at 12121 7th Place Southeast, Lake Stevens, Washington. My home is in the urban growth area, and I know as a result of the interlocal agreement, we are in the process of being annexed into the city of Lake Stevens. My understanding is that you do have a unification agreement with the city of Lake Stevens, and you voted to authorize Dan to sign on behalf of the sewer district. I appreciate your support of the annexation and extending the service areas to provide my home and my neighbors with sanitary sewers. The reason I'm providing public comment is that I'm concerned about transparency as we continue through this process. Even though sewer district business is not generally considered a, quote, hot button topic, unquote, it does still impact landowners inside the annexation area. In the future, for the meetings to make these important policy decisions, it would be helpful to us to understand the facts and have the opportunity to participate in the process. Recently has been quite confusing as you have moved from public meetings to executive sessions. Sometimes the timing and public notices of these meetings have been unclear. Our desire as landowners is that the sewer committee made up of the 3 Lake Stevens City Council members and the 3 commissioners from the Lake Stevens Sewer District, along with staff, can work together to reach the goal of becoming one entity just as soon as possible. This unification would be a great benefit to both the city, the sewer district, and the customers you currently serve. When I first heard about the 2005 resolution to have the city and the sewer district become one, was based on the timeline of 2033. My initial thought was that is a long time from now and a lot can happen in 12 years. Although the 2 entities seem to be functioning quite well separately, I believe the most logical service provider would be the city to eliminate confusion, duplication, and administrative overhead costs. I realize that a few cities and utility districts exist separately, and I understand the point that was made that there are not a lot that can't be done while the 2 are separate entities. However, the positive reasons for mergers and combining services include reducing ratepayer costs, greater efficiency, streamlined processes, leadership alignment, and increased opportunities for strategic planning. I do understand the need for pre-planning, as sometimes transitioning government can take a very long time. A prime example is waiting 31 years or more for the Lake Stevens to incorporate the urban growth area, which was originally envisioned in 1990. Throughout the process, what is most important is transparency and allowing the residents to participate and understand the process via public meetings, the opportunity to review written documents, and to provide testimony. It is time for us to come together as a community to mend our friendships and truly become, quote, one community around the lake, end quote. In fact, I wonder if a survey were taken, would our residents and ratepayers even be aware that there are two separate government organizations? Moving forward, I am hoping that there will be less confrontation and that we will operate as one community to avoid the unnecessary costs of litigation, depositions, and court costs. When there is disunity, the cost only increases for our residents through taxes and our rates. In closing, I wish to thank all the city leaders, commissioners, and Snohomish County Council for making a logical decision. Now it's time to work together and plan for merging our service providers in the most efficient and transparent way to serve our community now and in the future. Working together so this happens peacefully and equitably is the right thing to do. Sincerely, Scott Benison, 425-210-8265. Okay, so with that, do we have any other citizens currently in attendance that would like to make any comments to the Board of Commissioners? Not seeing anybody open up their mic or wave us down or indicate to our staff or others. We will now move on from the public forum aspect of the agenda and move right into old business, which is item number 6. Item A is resolution number 1002, authorizing transfer of funds from RSF number 42 for the debt payment relating to SVF loan. Number L is Lincoln 08-00014 and closing of RSF number 42. So I will turn that over to staff.
All right. So resolution 1002 is a resolution in order to make the transfer of funds out of the rate stabilization fund, which is known as Fund 42, in order to pay down what is our remaining highest interest loan, which is loan L08-00014. And that amount would be $815,903.59. That would leave a zero balance in the rate stabilization fund. So the second part of it is to close that rate stabilization fund since it's no longer needed for the purpose it was established. We've talked about this several meetings in the past and also at utility committee meetings. This resolution is been reviewed by legal and is recommended by staff.
Thank you. Okay, I will open it to the Board of Commissioners to make any comments, whether they have any on that, or introduce a motion for approving resolution number 1002.
I'd make a motion that we approve resolution 1002.
I second.
So there is a motion to approve resolution number 1002 along with a second, and that resolution is for the Board of Commissioners for the Lake Stevens Sewer District, Snohomish County, Washington, authorizing the transfer of funds from fund number 42, which is a rate stabilization fund, for the purpose of debt payment relating to state revolving fund loan number L08-00014 and closing fund number 42. So with that being stated, any further discussion by the board? Not seeing any indication from them in their videos that there will be any further discussion. I will go ahead and call for the vote on that. So all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 1002 has passed unanimously. So thank you for the work by everybody on that. We'll go ahead and move on down now to old business item B, which is resolution number 1003. That is updating the flexible benefit plan, and I will open that up to staff.
All right. So resolution 1003 is just an update to the operative section of a previous resolution establishing the IRC 125 flexible benefit program for the district. In accordance with IRS rules, there was a limit in the previous resolution, and that has been updated by the IRS. And so the language in our resolution is being updated to say that we just follow the IRS regulations in section 1. And so this resolution has been reviewed by legal and is also recommended by staff.
Thank you very much. So with that being said, I'll open it up to the remaining board members to either comment, ask questions, or make a motion to approve resolution number 1003.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 1003.
I second that.
So it has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 1003, which is a resolution from the Board of Commissioners for the Lake Stevens Sewer District in Snohomish County, Washington, updating a policy regarding the RC 125 flexible benefit program that we had previously approved through other resolutions, and just updating it to meet the current IRS rules. So with that being said, I will go ahead and see if there's any further discussion. Doesn't look like anyone wants to say anything, but I will call for the vote. So all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 1003 has passed unanimously. We'll move down to item C under old business, which is resolution number 1004, updating the policy regarding contributions to the voluntary employee benefits plan accounts, and open that to staff to give us some insight.
Okay, resolution 1004 is also an update to the language to bring us back into compliance. Previously, resolution 971 section 2 had allowed for any dollar amount or percentage from commissioners for contribution, with the same exception for attestation that they have a separate personal savings account or HSA in order to opt out. So the current IRS rules doesn't allow any percentage or amount. It has to be consistent. And so there's no actual change to what we are doing. It is simply a change to the verbiage in order to make sure that we are in compliance with the IRS rules stating the contribution would be 25% per month. So again, this resolution is been reviewed by legal and is recommended by staff.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns by the other commissioners? Or a motion to approve resolution number 1004?
I make a motion to approve resolution 1004.
I'll second that.
So resolution number 1004 has a first and a second. It is a resolution of the Board of Commissioners for the Lake Stevens Sewer District, Snohomish County, Washington, updating a policy regarding the contributions to the voluntary employee benefit plans account. Some people know that as VEBA, but it's through an HRA. So with that being said, I will go ahead and call for the vote on that. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
It has passed. So resolution number 1004 is complete with the unanimous vote on that. Thank you. We are going now to move down into new business under item number 7. The first is A. It is a void check number 8534 for the amount of $17,306 to Jacobson Homes. So I'll open that to staff to give us some insight.
So this one is another housekeeping item to track. So we have a developer reimbursable that we had sent out. It was returned with no forwarding address, and we have no current phone number on file. The ones we have were disconnected. So with nobody to return the developer reimbursable to, it now goes back into the district's funds.
Thank you much. Any questions by the commissioners? So I guess we're looking for a motion, and we can move forward on this.
I make a motion that we recognize and approve the voided check number 8534 of the amount of $17,306 to Jacobson Home to be moved back into the general fund since we can't locate the developer.
I second.
So it has been moved and seconded in the motion to void the check 8534 in the amount of $17,306. That was for Jacobson Homes to be placed back into the general fund because we are unable to locate that company at this time, but I'm sure they will be coming forward in the future. So with that being said, I will go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion has passed. Item B under new business, there is a Gray and Osborne contract amendment number 31. It is for the Vernon Business Center second floor building improvement engineering service scope and estimated cost. Open that to staff.
So this one is an amendment to our contracts with Gray and Osborne, and like you stated, it's for the second floor improvements. As you know, Salon Michelle's contract is up at the end of the year, and we want to be prepared to have the area renovated and brought up to standards, as well as some additional improvements to the building before we move up there. The scope of this contract includes project management and oversight, site meeting and investigation, preliminary design, 60 and 90% designs, as well as QA/QC, bid support, and then the schedule puts us about to January if we get started right away. And so it is recommended by staff that we move forward with getting Gray and Osborne's assistance and getting that designed.
Any questions by the other board members?
I should add, I'm sorry, the cost for this is estimated to be $90,170.
Any concerns, questions, comments by the board? Not hearing any. We could entertain a motion.
So let's see, so just to be clear on the motion here, we're authorizing staff to be able to enter into the, well, it's just a contract amendment. So I would make a motion that we provide general manager or assistant general manager the authority to sign as necessary the amendment 31 to the Gray and Osborne contract in regards to the Vernon Business Center second floor building improvements and engineering services scope and cost estimate, and the dollar amount is $90,170.
I second.
So it has been moved and seconded to move with Gray and Osborne into a contract amendment of the Vernon Business Center second floor improvement and engineering services with G&O in the amount stated. I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And I'm just going to vote nay on this one. I just had to, I got some concerns, but the motion has passed on that. So let's move on down to the manager's reports. We'll start with the general manager.
All right, not a lot from me. We are going into a cybersecurity audit offered by the State Auditor's Office. If you'll remember, we did sign up to get on the list to have one of these audits several years ago. It's about a 4-year waiting list to have them do the audit for us. It's about a 6-month process, but they'll look at our processes and then develop a report that'll be available to the public on the security of our systems. So we're excited about that. And that is all for me.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I know that we did receive the unaudited annual report that just came in. So look forward to hearing more from that as it comes in, but from the State Auditor's Office. So that looks good. But I know that this audit that we're taking on, I think we're all excited to kind of take a look at our strengths and weaknesses on some of the things and move forward with that, because as we see, cybersecurity is a priority for a lot of public entities. So I don't know if the other board members have anything on that. Okay, well, nothing there. Let's move on down to the Assistant General Manager's report.
All right, 214.59 connection fees collected so far this year, and 231 permits issued. Yesterday, the district approved a DEA for the Lake Stevens School District, Skyline Elementary. Skyline is adding 3 temporary portable buildings to the east side of the current building. And to do that, they'll need to extend some 8-inch sewer. So the DEA was for that project. Field crews have been working diligently trying to find an issue at lift station 14. We've had issues with the pumps drawing too many amps and or high amps. So we're trying to find the source of the amperage increase. And crews have been working hard trying to narrow down the possible causes, and we're hoping to find resolution by tomorrow. And other than that, nothing else for me. Any comments, questions, concerns, complaints?
No, thank you. Other than, hey, it looks like we're on our way to our, connections. Business ain't slowing down, so it's good to see. Any other comments by the other board members? Not seeing anybody jump up. Let's move on down to the treatment plant update. I am sure
I'll
that.
take that.
Okay.
So we're averaging 2.6 million gallons a day right now, which is normal for this time of year in dry weather. Primary band screens, the replacement of those in repair is complete on the primary ones. It took them 2 days when we were estimating it might be 3 or more in order to get that done. So well-oiled machine when they came in and did that. Now they're now working on the 2mm screens, and we'll get those done in the next week. The magnesium hydroxide pilot program is going really well. We're seeing the nice residual effect of keeping that pH a little bit higher, which is exactly what we wanted. And we're using a little bit less than even what we estimated going into the project. So those are all positive things that we're seeing, and we'll continue monitoring the project for a little longer before recommending any sort of change to the overall process. But so far it's looking really good. And that's about it from the plant.
Excellent. Well, that's good. They're busy. So it's great to see that the processes that are putting in place are saving some money, and things are working in that direction. So thank you very much. City report. I know we've got the mayor, we got the public works director, we've got a council member there. I don't know if we have the city administrator. So one of you three get to take on the city report for us this morning.
All right, good morning, commissioners, members of the public. Honored to be here in front of you today. Mr. Brazel is out of town, so I get to do I'm the backup today. A lot going on at the city. I'll try and be brief. Some of the biggest things we have is had a Costco meeting this morning, and they are targeting to break ground second week of June. So I know that's been a multi-year project we've been working through. Other big news, the farmers market is scheduled to be much bigger than last year's. First day of that is Wednesday, June 2nd, and it's from 3 to 7. So it'd be nice to see everybody down supporting the farmers market this year. Other news, we've been working with Snow Isle on the library relocation. They are out to bid on a tenant improvement at the old police department, kind of a partnership between the city and Snow Isle. In the interim, they are moving into Lundin Park office, kind of right behind the concession stand. We had an office there. So they're going to be offering some limited service there. They'll have some book carts out front. They'll have their book drop off, and people can special order books and pick them up there. And then they're going to be filtering the bookmobile in and out. So they're excited about being able to continue service while they are doing a tenant improvement in their old building. 20th projects are just wrapping up. Obviously, we got a little hold up on 91st, just waiting on the Everett transmission mains. So they will have a little bit of the summertime shutdown and resume middle of August to shut down those Everett water mains 1st of September. Really excited about downtown this year. So just a brief rundown really quick of our plan. June 1st, the library, the museum, and the butlers are supposed to be moved out of all their respective residence downtown. We will be doing the demo work on those houses in the library and museum. We're under contract with a house mover to move the Grimm house the second week of June. That will get moved into its new location, and we are out to bid next week on the Festival Street. So that will be, hopefully the contractor can start right after the 4th of July holiday. So lots going on downtown again this year. We are in design for the rest of Main Street and the roundabout at 20th and Main. We did get some state funding and some federal funding, STP dollars, to keep moving forward with that project. So lots going on. Mariah, I don't know if I can share my screen. Can I share my screen if you made me a presenter?
You should be good to go, Eric.
Let's see. Yep, I'm working on it. Right here. See if that comes up. You seen it?
Not yet.
Yeah, might take a bit.
Okay, I see it popping up. So what I'm trying to share is the sign for the new decant facility. This is what we've come up with for out front on Hartford. It's kind of cool. We like it. And I've been working with Jonathan with it a little bit. So I just thought I'd share what that will look like. We wanted to keep the same theme that the Toy Barn had with both of our logos. You know, the facility was designed for 7 lots, which is why you see 7 blocks there. So my only change would be to see if we can't do away with the blue lines so it doesn't look like 3 separate businesses, like Lake Stevens is there, then a decant, and then the sewer district. Working through that, but I just thought I would share that today with everyone to see what the new signs are going to look like. And with that, I have nothing further unless anyone has any questions. I will stop sharing now.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Well, you guys are going to be very, very busy downtown. I guess that in a way, it's kind of a good thing that Aquafest wasn't falling in the middle of all of this, because as you all know, Aquafest takes up a huge footprint. But I think Aquafest 2022 will be quite exciting, because you won't even recognize downtown by the time all these new, facilities are in place. So great job. It's great to see a lot of these things move forward in the city. And where is the Grimm house going? This would be like location number 3. I remember it used to be on the hill where the mocha stand was.
Yeah, it gets flipped 90 degrees and moved about 150 feet west. So if you envision a new street aligning with 18th over at the post office and the Buzz Inn, that Festival Street will follow straight through and then turn on to 123rd, and the Grimm house sits on a lot right on the corner right there with new museum plans that we're working through to be right next door, kind of a shared courtyard. So it literally gets moved about 150 feet, flipped to 90 degrees, so it faces the new Festival Street. So.
Oh, very good. Oh, that's going to be exciting. That'll bring people out. People always like to see something get moved like that, house or some building. So great job. Look forward to it. Let's move on down to commissioners' reports. We can start with Commissioner Kochi if he has anything.
Sure, a couple things. One, I guess I just like to acknowledge Mr. Benison's comments. We don't get a lot of comments to the commission, so just appreciate him taking the time to be able to put those forward. And I guess my only other comment in response would be is, you know, we back in 2005, you know, the leaders of the city at that time came to the district and asked for some help, and that was the foundation of what that agreement is about, and we're just trying to follow it to our best of our ability. As far as the cybersecurity thing, that's great to hear. That's a really big deal. My day job's involved in some fashion with a lot of the public security breaches, whether we're talking about pipelines or credit reporting agencies or the like. And you know, there's a lot of different service providers that are out there that can really help do some audits and make sure things are secure. The two things that we see a lot that are critical is, one is to make sure there's tight protocols around how we back up our data, both in terms of critical systems as well as just accounting systems. And the second thing is, most of these folks get in through, you know, phishing attacks. One of the things Cisco does is our IT group sends out these fake emails and tries to get you to click on the link. And, you know, if you click on the link, it takes you to a site that says, hey, you just been scammed. You shouldn't have clicked on that. You know better. And, you know, hey, here's a little reminder of the corporate policy and so forth. Highly effective on keeping people on their toes. And as cagey and as smart as I like to pretend I am, I've got tripped up on those stupid emails on 2 different occasions myself. And, you know, and it was a really good reminder. So I don't know if there's someone we can partner with, whether Snohomish County does that since they do our IT stuff, or maybe the city has a provider. But that's just really good hygiene. So I'd encourage us to look into that, because it's you know, it's very expensive when they get in there, and it's embarrassing too. So offer that up, and no, appreciate everybody's work. Appreciate the work the city's doing out there on Main Street. It's great to see, you know, it's grown so much, and it's just so much more professional and much more kind of it's a medium city feel with the mill and everything else in those parks. It's just great to see. It's great work. So appreciate that as a citizen, appreciate that as a commissioner. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. How about you, Commissioner Stevenson?
Here we go. Figure out how to unmute myself. I don't have a whole lot. I got to attend the staff meeting virtually last week, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Seeing the staff's faces and the interaction and the information, it was just fun, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoy just getting to know them a little bit better on those meetings. So my schedule opened up, and it was a good time. So thank you for including me in that.
Thank you. And no, I would just like to reiterate, you know, it's great to hear from the public to be able to at least get some feedback. And so appreciate that Mr. Bennington did take the time to write, and that we could put his letter not only in our packet, but also read it into the public comment section. The audit, look forward to it. I look forward to going over the other audit we just got from the state, you know, once they go through that. So it's kind of nice to see that our business practices are in line with what they would expect of an organization. So we are doing a good job. I appreciate all the work from staff. I had a chance to go down in my day job to look at Brightwater. Not that I really wanted to one time, but they managed to have a little fire in one of their giant rooms. And so they invited us to take a look, which is, probably most of you know, they use the same kind of system we do, pump about probably 12 times as much in one day than we do. But, you know, it was really neat just to see the flow and how they have some of their things set up. And you know, we're in good company when our systems and theirs are really, we're the cutting edge in this county. So great to see that. I know our folks do a really good job, and some of the guys there know our folks. So, you know, it's a small world, even if you do have a plant as large as Brightwater, because a lot of those folks come out of the local areas sometimes. So thank you to everybody on that, all the hard work you do daily. And I do look forward to seeing the downtown stuff come into play. Because, yeah, it's been the same a long, long time because it's never really had an opportunity. It's always been in plans. So with that, I don't think we're having any sort of commissioner executive session this morning.
We are.
We are?
We are. Yes.
Okay, well, then that one's there. So with that being said, we are going to go into executive session. Excuse everybody else that might not need to be here, but I will let legal go ahead and read into the minutes what the executive session will be about. Anticipation time.
We're anticipating about 25 minutes. So
Okay.
given a couple minutes to get organized, let's say that the executive session will return to regular session to adjourn the meeting at or before 10:10. The commission will now recess into executive session to discuss two matters. One is collective bargaining matters, and the second is to discuss pending litigation. And both matters the commission will be discussing with legal counsel. At the point in time that the commission returns to regular session, there will not be any action taken, nor will there be any announcement based upon the discussion in executive session, and the commission meeting will be adjourned at the return to regular session. And again, it's anticipated that return will be at or before 10:10.
Perfect. Thank you. With that being said, appreciate everybody that was able to join us this afternoon. And as soon as we get into executive session, of course, the recording will stop as we speak with legal about these matters. So again, thank you, everybody. And if you do want to come back at about 10:10 to see us just go out, you're more than welcome.
Alrighty, it looks like everybody is still in. Melanie, can we stop the recording?
This conference will now be recorded.
So the Board of Commissioners for Lake Stevens Sewer District, we are back into a regular session momentarily. We'll come into session now. It is 10:09. We are going to extend the executive session till 10:30 a.m. this morning. Again, there will be no decision to follow once the commissioners come out of executive session after speaking with legal, and we will adjourn the meeting then. So with that being said, we are going back into executive session until 10:30.
This conference will now be recorded.
So the Board of Commissioners for the Lake Stevens Sewer District are back in public session for the May 13th, 2021 regular board meeting. We've come out to the executive session, and as stated previously, there is no decision to follow on any of the meetings in that executive session with legal. So with that being said, as we are now in public session, I would entertain a motion to adjourn since we are done with the business of the district for this day.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to adjourn this fine meeting. I appreciate everybody's hard work on the stuff. Just a reminder to my fellow commissioners, please stop by the district and sign the vouchers. So the general manager, assistant general manager, or anybody in that organization won't chase us down. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great day, and we'll, I'm sure, talk soon.
Take care.